Everybody, welcome back to the Spurs 9501 Pod. We've got a long lost friend back on the channel now. He's been hiding away all summer, but we've managed to bring him back today. Richard from Charlottesville Spurs. Hello, Richard. It's very good to have you back on the channel.
It's great to be back, man. I'm happy that the soccer's back and the Spurs are back. And yeah, I took a little international break of my own. So we're back and the club is back and we can't wait. We have our first official club meeting for the Chelsea game. So pray for
great.
us. Pray for
Yeah,
us.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm sorry we have to reconvene after such a bad performance, but give us your first. I want to ask you about the formation that Nuno played with three defensive midfielders. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, just like everybody, it's, where was the creativity going to come from? I'm not going to rehash everything, but I don't think he had any choice. I mean, I don't know the story with Indom Pele is, I wish I could see him. I don't know what's going on. I mean, obviously everybody would have liked to see him play, but I'm not going to throw out the baby out with the bathwater on this one. I'm calm. We had half the players were injured. I mean, international break was a disaster for us. I think from COVID to injuries, I'm not sure even how healthy Skip was. And so, when you don't have Son, you don't have Bergwijn, and you have to play Delhi sort of out of position, in my opinion, dropping back where, I just, it was what it was. I don't know who else we could have played
Okay.
in the center, but I'm not mad. It is what it is. Given that up until that red card, I was hoping for a point. I really was. I didn't, and then once the red card happened, obviously the wheels kind of fell off. So, I thought I was a little bit harsh on Japhet. When I saw the replay, he tried to pull away from it. It is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. Unfortunately, when you have been booked already, then they look after that. But in terms of the formation, did you think maybe why he didn't play Japhet at right back and bring Rodon in as a centre? What was your thoughts on giving the debut to Emerson Royal?
Yeah, so look, I'm happy when we played our signings, but it was my impression that even Rodon was still coming back from injury. I don't know how healthy he was. It
Yeah.
was just a few weeks ago. I mean, he just started training again. He was coming back from injury. So look, the team was I wasn't upset. I guessed that formation actually, the night before. I said I'm glad we got to see Emerson. I mean, listen, what a tough game to have your first EPL start away against Zaha. I mean, listen, I thought he did a great job. I mean, he got beat a few times, but to make your debut against one of the best wingers, I mean, I thought he did fine. I wasn't mad at him.
No, I think he had a decent, it's his first game, so we've got to give him time to bed in. But I thought he did okay. He got beaten a few times, but as you said, Zaha's one of the best wingers in the league. So, how do you think the first half paneled out? Because we didn't have a single, I mean, for the whole game, we didn't have a shot on target. But for the first half, why do you think we weren't able to make, any impressions on the goal or have any attempts? What was the problem there?
I mean, when you have Højbjerg, Skip, right, and Winks, I mean,
where's the creativity going to come from? Yeah.
Listen, I mean, I don't want to. I'm tired of here's what I'm saying. I'm tired of slating Winks. Right. I just it's not fun anymore. I'm not a big fan of his. I mean, he's had some good games a while ago, but every time you watched him for as long as we have watched him his whole career, he never goes for. So if he's your person to go forward, he goes side to side and backwards. So where was it? I mean, it was just standard that was going to happen. And again, your first question was, what else could we have done? I don't know, given, we had in Dombele, I don't know who else we could have put in, to go forward, but that was what we did. And it was, I didn't expect a shot. I mean, going back, I felt bad for Harry Kane. He's got to be surely frustrated seeing what Ronaldo did and, seeing some of the exciting games that were going around the league and he can't get literally one service. But that's what happens when you have Winks. He does not go forward. He goes side to side. He goes backwards. This has been years. So again, I wasn't upset at Nuno. I don't know what else we could have done given our current staff, given the injuries, given COVID, given everyone who's quarantining. it is what it is. We tried to get a point there, and I thought we would have. I really did. I didn't think we would concede until we got the red card. And listen, I hate to say this, but I when Dyer went off, I was actually upset. That's the state of the Spurs. I mean, like I could not believe. I was like, "Oh no, Eric Dyer's hurt. We're in trouble." Like,
Well, he's been playing well for the last few games, so we were hoping it could
yeah.
continue. But let me ask you a question, Richard. So basically, we had 3 holding defenders, we had 4 defenders, 3 holding midfielders, 4 defenders. So we had 7 people literally behind the ball. Why then do you think it was still so easy for Palace to create chances? Gallagher had a few chances. If he could shoot properly, he could have scored. They were getting in behind us all the time. What was the issue there? We had 7 defenders, really.
I mean, I think it just goes to the, anytime, like, look, everyone's saying, and I think even you mentioned it, it was very Jose reminiscent. You go back on Twitter and it's like, oh, look what Jose did. And, this is a Jose masterclass. Now it's a Nuno masterclass. But again, when you can't bring the ball out of the back, when you can't have a creative, when you can't connect, and you go side to side and backwards, and you have 3 defensive holding, you play a low block. And when you play a low block, everything goes outside. And look at their outside players; they're fast. And Zaha. So the only way to beat a low block is what we did. We sat in a low block is to fire down the side, and that's where they got all their chances from. And when you watch this long enough, that's what happens when you play a game against the low block. I mean, sometimes people can beat it, but half the time you're giving up possession and you're defending. But I think Crystal Palace, one of their strengths are their attackers, and yeah, that's what happened in my opinion. So when you sit and you play that low block and you've got Zaha, that's what's going to happen.
So what was the mindset from Nuno, you think, going into the match? Did he just want a draw? Because if he didn't want to draw and he wanted to win the match, how was he going to get the service to Harry Kane to help, score that? Explain that to me, because I still don't understand.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think. I mean, I know it's early. So on the bench are midfielders. We had Ndombele.
We had Brian Hill.
Yeah, so that's the one that was. I mean, listen, I think I understand. It looked like Dele and Moore were dropping back behind Kane, right? So and then and hopefully what was going to happen is Reguilon and Emerson were gonna come up. I don't know. Emerson didn't look like the type of back. I mean, again, it was his first game and he had his hands full.
Games. We've got to give him some time yet.
But yeah, so I think the game plan is play that sort of low block and then have Reg and Emerson come up and then Dele and Mora drop back. Look, I thought Lucas Mora, I think 10 minutes into the game, he had this little Iniesta that he came up and went straight down the field. And I sent a tweet saying, man, I'm never going to say anything bad about this guy again. He played so hard. But I thought that was the game plan. But I don't feel like, I think Nuno could have made a few more substitutions. That was the only knock. I would have loved to see Brian in there. And but I don't know what else, given the formation. Again, our team was decimated after the international break.
Yeah, I think we suffered from injuries. Bergwijn's son, Romero, Lo Celso, Sanchez. 5 main players out, so it's very difficult for Nuno, I think. So he probably did the best he can. Let's go. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No. And what everybody said during the transfer window, the one knock was unless Ndombele comes through, which who knows, man, he's an enigma, right? How long has he been here? And every year and every coach, something happens. And I see him on the bench. He seems like he's smiling, but if he can't get in the game, for and help us go forward and connect out of the back, that's what's going to happen. So I expected it. I really did. And I don't know if Nuno was going in thinking, I thought maybe, we could sneak a goal, but I think it was clearly, it was pretty evident after the first 10, 15 minutes, we were going to try and get that draw. That was just mine.
Well, everybody on Twitter was saying, if Mourinho had put on this team and this performance, we'd be slating him as being a defensive coach and all that. So what was the difference between what Nuno did and what Mourinho did?
I mean, I think Mourinho would have, again, it was the options available. Man, I really think man, our fans are some of the best and some of the worst at the same time. So I can't understand the abuse that Nuno got given his roster. And again, look at how many players were out or coming back from injury. And so I think that's the difference.
Okay.
He
But the
played
thing is, Richard, as you said before, Ndombele and Brian Hill, we were 1-0 down, then 2-0 down. Why didn't he change it and bring some people on and try and at least get a goal or something like that? Put Palace under pressure.
Yeah, I mean that's the I don't have a defense for that other than the fact that we know.
Yeah.
I think Brian, everybody came back from international break. We had I think he was captaining the under 21 Spain team, right? So maybe you don't know about his legs or where he was at. I mean, Harry Kane, like, God, he played 3 games, 3 goals for England. I think I just saw him playing Thursday. It's Saturday at 7. I mean, the team was beat down from international duty, and so maybe that was a reason why he didn't play. I mean, he could have been banged up. I mean, Skip played. I think he played banged up. He wasn't even. I didn't think he was going to play. So it just shows you that that's the difference. Nuno, he didn't have a full squad to select from. I think he had to do what he had to do, given that was the best team that he could put together to try and beat Crystal Palace away. And so let's get our team back healthy. Let's get everybody there, and let's then I'll be the judge. I can't judge, my man. We were
we're just trying to understand. Obviously, he's got to get time. We're just trying to understand what he's trying to do and explain it to the fans.
Yeah.
What do you think about the Japhet Tanganga? I know you mentioned previously you thought he was a bit unlucky. Some people saying he could have been sent off for the initial offence where he actually put his hands in Zaha's face. Could have gotten off for that, So I was lucky to get a yellow for that.
I like it, man. I do. I love seeing, that reminds me of like Kyle Walker, right? I think he's coming into his own. I mean, Kyle Walker was big and physical, and man, that game against the Battle of the Bridge versus Chelsea, that's what, I wanted to see Japhet come in and play like that. And, and especially at center back, I think, isn't that his preferred position where he was at?
That is his preferred position. Yeah.
I mean, he looked good and physical. I thought they both should have gotten the yellow. I think Zaha put his hands around his neck, but I loved it. I thought that set a good tone. I think he just got unlucky. He'll learn.
The second one, he's a bit impetuous. He's a young guy. He'll learn. I'm sure he's a great player.
But I love it.
He'll learn from that. Yeah,
because I'm tired of the last couple years of our defenders not showing any grit, and not showing any resolve. And I got fired up when he did it. To be honest, I was jumping up and down, clapping.
So. Okay, excellent. Well, let's quickly move to the game next week against Chelsea. I wanted to ask you, what would be your formation against Chelsea? And then I want to ask your score prediction.
Oh, man, that's a tough one. So the club is getting together.
Assume, Romero's back, Lo Celso's back. We got all our Bergwijn and Sonny are available. Just assume they're available. What would be your formation and your team for next week?
Yeah, I think I would go with what sort of got us there. I would start out with Bergwijn, Kane, and Son. I would put Dele. I'm still happy with what he's doing. I would go Dele, skip Hojbjerg, so I'd drop Dele back, and let him sort of connect and get out of the back, and then. I mean, everybody wants to see Emerson. So if Sanchez is there too, man, this is a tough one because man, Sanchez has played so well. So I think I would go Reguilon, Romero, Sanchez, and Japhet. That's what I would do against.
I think Japhet's probably going to be banned for one match because.
Yeah. Sorry.
So it's probably going to be Emerson again. I think.
Yeah. So Emerson. Yeah. My bad. So Emerson.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
So I would go Emerson, Sanchez, Romero, and Red.
Okay.
I would do that, and I would save Rodon still, because I think Sanchez deserves. He's played a few.
He's played well for the first few games. He has indeed. Yeah. So, and a score prediction for you, Richard? Next week.
Man. I'm gonna go 2-1 Spurs.
Excellent. That's what I like to see.
Spurs.
Bit of positivity.
What do you think?
I'm going 1-1. I'm going 1-1.
You're going
I think
1-1.
I think we can get a draw. I think we'll be up for it next week, and I think we'll at home. I think we can get a draw. So I'm going to go for a 1-1. But Chelsea's going to be really strong. They're a good team. But having said that, Villa had a few chances against them yesterday. Could have scored. So let's see.
I'm going Dele with the game winner. Kane ties it. Dele wins it.
Excellent.
You heard it here first.
Good. Oh, excellent. Listen, it's been great for your time. And just one thing before you go, is the NFL season starting today? Who's your team? Tell us, the fans, who your team is, what you're hoping for.
So so this is funny. I'm a Chargers fan. So the Chargers,
San Diego Chargers. Yeah. Okay.
Now that I grew up in San Diego. So now they're the Los Angeles Chargers, which is horrible. But the Chargers are exactly like the Spurs. I've never won anything in my whole life. I don't have any trophies. I don't have any championships. I've never won anything.
I thought the Chargers won it when a few years ago, but I don't know. Maybe I'm not an NFL expert. Who's the coach? Who's the quarterback for the Chargers?
It's a guy named Justin Herbert now. But I thought
it was Jared Goff, but he's at the Rams.
Yeah, so I've never won anything in my entire life. So I just
you're both on the NFL side and the football side. You've never won anything. So congratulations on that.
The Chargers are the Spurs of the NFL, and if anyone watches it, they will laugh because we've never won anything.
We should maybe match up together and twin with them. And one last thing: who's your local team in Charlottesville? Though, who's your local team? Your local NFL team in Charlottesville?
So the closest would be the Washington football team.
You can't call them the R word anymore, can you say? So Washington.
Yeah, man, I don't even know. I had to pause there to think about they're the Washington football team. So that's it, man. I appreciate talking to you.
No, thanks very much. Thanks for all your time. Have a great time.
Yep.
I hope your son wins his match. And will you come on for the next post match after the Chelsea match? Will we have you on again?
Yeah, I will, man. We'll report from the club.
Okay, great. Excellent. Everybody, thank you. This is Ray from Spurs 9501, ending the podcast. This is Richard from Charlottesville. We'll thank you very much, and we'll see you on the next podcast. Bye-bye, everybody.
All right, man.
Bye-bye.
Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. Bye.